So now we begin Act 3. Scene 1 starts with some entertainers on the stage. Cassio has brought some entertainers to, musicians and stuff, to wake up Othello. He wants to wake him up and talk about what happened last night. So initially we'll hear some music, some awkward and noisy music. They'll actually talk about how awkward and noisy the music is. Here we go.
Masters, play here. I will content your pains. Something that's brief and bid good morrow, General.
Masters, have your instruments been in Naples that they speak in the nose thus?
How, sir, how?
Are these, I pray you, called wind instruments?
Aye, marry, are they, sir?
Oh, thereby hangs a tale.
Whereby hangs a tale, sir?
Marry, sir, by many a wind instrument that I know. But, Masters, here's money for you, and the General so likes your music that he desires you, for love's sake, to make no more noise with it.
Well, sir, we will not.
If you have any music that may not be heard, do it again. But, as they say, to hear music, the General does not greatly care.
We have none such, sir.
Then put up your pipes in your bag, for all away. Go, vanish into air. Away!
Dost thou hear, my honest friend?
No, I hear not your honest friend. I hear you.
Prithee, keep up thy quillets. There's a poor piece of gold for thee. If the gentlewoman that attends the general's wife be stirring, tell her there's one Cassio entreats her a little favour of speech. Wilt thou do this?
She is stirring, sir. If she will stir hither, I shall seem to notify unto her.
Do, good my friend. And happy time, Iago.
You have not been abed, then?
Oh, no, the day it broke. Before we parted, I have made bold, Iago, to send in to your wife. My suit to her is that she will, to virtuous Desdemona, procure me some access.
I'll send her to you presently, and I'll devise a mean to draw the Moor out of the way, that your converse and business may be more free.
Oh, I humbly thank you for it. I never knew a Florentine more kind and honest.
So, to begin with, the musicians play, and a clown or a jester, a comedian, enters and makes some comments about the musicians or about the music, being wind instruments. And he says, thereby hangs a tale, which, it means I've got a story about that. A tale, T-A-L-E. Yeah, I know a story about that. And the musician says, what's the tale that you're going to, or where is the tail hanging? And he says, yeah, it's hanging by the wind instruments, meaning the rear end of an animal with a tail, okay? And the wind instrument. So he's basically insulting the instruments. And then he says, my boss likes it so much that he's paying you to stop and keep it for yourself. Don't waste any more of it here. The musicians leave, and the clown is here talking with Cassio, okay? And now the clown, it's probably not a clown. He's probably just like a servant in the household, but he's played by the comedian in the troupe. Oftentimes you'll see that in Shakespeare's in Shakespeare plays, in Shakespeare scripts, they have clown or jester, and it isn't that that's the person in the play as much as that's the role that the person is playing comically. Okay, so Cassio says, do you hear, my honest friend? Are you listening to me? But the way he phrases it, the clown can twist it around and say, no, I don't hear your honest friend, I hear you. Okay, so he's, making fun of the way he talks. It's comic stuff. Cassio says, go please, and get the woman that attends the general's wife. You recall that's Iago's wife, attending Desdemona. Go bring her out here. And he says, okay, I'll do that. When Iago comes in, Iago asks, have you gone to bed yet? Nope, I've been up all night. I'm here to see if I can talk to Desdemona. Iago says, yeah, my wife will be able to do that. I'll go and make sure she comes out. Okay. And that happens right here. Let's see how the conversation with Emilia goes. Before we listen to Emilia, we should note here that Cassio says, I've never known a Florentine more kind and honest than Iago. And Iago isn't a Florentine. He's a Venetian. But Cassio's Florentine. He says, I don't even know any of my own people that are nicer than him. Which is, again, ironic, because he's not nice. Now, let's hear the conversation with Emilia.
Never knew a Florentine more kind and honest.
Good morrow, good lieutenant. I am sorry for your displeasure, but all will sure be well. The general and his wife are talking of it, and she speaks for you stoutly. The Moor replies that he you hurt is of great fame in Cyprus and great affinity, and that in wholesome wisdom he might not but refuse you. But he protests he loves you, and needs no other suitor but his likings to take the safest occasion by the front to bring you in again.
Yet I beseech you, if you think fit, or that it may be done, give me advantage of some brief discourse with Desdemona alone.
Pray you come in. I will bestow you where you shall have time to speak your bosom freely.
I'm much bound to you.
Now, the way this scene ends, it's interesting. Emilia tells us that Mr. and Mrs. Othello are talking about what's going on. She's speaking for you. She's talking about you, saying how good you are. And Othello is replying that the thing that he did last night, the thing that Cassio did last night, he hurt somebody pretty important. And that means that he should refuse to even deal with him. He might not but refuse you. He has no other choice than to refuse you, she's telling him. But he says, he insists he loves you, and, as a partner, and he doesn't need any other convincing that you're worthwhile. So, as soon as it's convenient, the safest occasion, he will bring you in again. So, Othello plans on reinstating Cassio. He plans on it. As soon as it's convenient, he will. And Cassio says, well, can I still please just talk to Desdemona for a bit? Why? Bad idea. This is him insisting on something that he really doesn't need right now, but he's insisting. And she says, okay, I'll do that so you can talk with her. And he says, thank you very much. Really bad idea. But that's what he says. End of scene 1. Scene 2 is just a transitional scene that tells us where Othello and Iago are going to be. The two of them come in with some other soldiers. Othello gives Iago some work to do, and then he says that he will be walking on the works. The works are the walls of the city, the defensive walls. And he says, Iago, repair there to me. Come up to me when you're done. And so let's hear them go through their instructions.
These letters, give Iago to the pilot, and by him do my duties to the Senate. That done, I will be walking on the works. Repair that to me.
Well, my good lord, I'll do it.
This is fortification. Gentlemen, shall we see it?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
And that's the end of scene 2.